What's going on, fragrance community? Today is, I'm on the couch today, something a little different. And let's talk about journeys, your fragrance journey. You're watching fragrance YouTubers, so you're probably already a little deep into this. Our journeys are all different. Our reasons to watch fragrance reviewers on YouTube, going on base notes, things like that, doing research, all different. So that is one thing that I wanted to tackle today in this video is the journey. I'll talk a little bit about mine. That's why I have these three fine fragrances in front of me from Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, and good old Swiss Army. And this is just something that I wanted to kind of utilize myself as an example. My journey is not built like the next man's or woman. So every single fragrance reviewer that you watch, our journeys are all different, right? There's no right or wrong. Some fragrance reviewers, and not just reviewers, but everybody's journey is different. Some go niche and they stay niche. They've never really experienced fragrances like this. Some go from designer to niche to indie. Your journey is your journey. If you stay in one lane, like going just cheapies, I don't want, or I wouldn't want to see people telling you what lane you should be in, what's better than others. So this is me talking about the journey, and there's nothing wrong with your journey. So let's talk about mine. This is where mine started. These three fragrances that you see in front of me. Again, nothing crazy here, nothing sexy, nothing, crazy here. Really fragrances, and a lot of us probably started in this kind of realm, not these particular fragrances. Maybe you started even better than me, quote unquote, with better designer fragrances, better built designer fragrances that so-called experts would lend you to know. But this is where it started with me, and any fragrance that starts your journey will have a special place in your heart, because a lot of these fragrances are attached to memories. And that's what's so special about fragrances. And that's one thing that I did want to portray in this video, is that if you're into fragrances, your journey is going to be different than mine. So even though I do a negative review on your favorite designer fragrance because you started out with that fragrance and you have fond memories of it, don't take it personally. That's what I do as a fragrance reviewer. Fragrance reviewers are built differently. Some will not do negative fragrance reviews. I don't care. And the reason for that is because I want to help people out there. I'll give my 2 cents, and that's my opinion. I feel like a fragrance reviewer, and that's pretty much what my upbringing is. What a reviewer is. For me, when I look at the term reviewer, I always think of this person is going into it with a clean slate, and I'm going to get either really a bad review, someone that's reviewing washing machines or something like that. They're going to give 1 stars once in a while, maybe more than once in a while. They are going to give 3 stars, and they are going to give 5 stars out of 5. That is what a reviewer is. And that's my thought process. Now, and that's one thing in our fragrance community that some reviewers defend their reviewing style. There's no right or wrong. As far as making this a business, then there is a right or wrong, right? Things like doing a 20-minute video on a fragrance review like I do is not a good business approach. You want to go 5 to 10 minutes with your fragrance review, even less if you can. Make some jokes. You don't even have to be as descriptive as I would want to be. But that's being business-wise. So anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at these three. And this is where I started my journey. And as you can see, I got these out just because I want to go back memory lane. Do I remember which one's first? I believe it was this one right here, Swiss Army. My parents got me this thing back in high school. Fond memories of this fragrance. And again, wow. I think I broke it. And as you can see, cheap as hell. Oh, I'm still spraying it. Still works. Good. However, I lost the bottom of it. So, cheapie, definition. Yeah, that reminds me of high school. I have, of course, fond memories. So to me, it's to me personally, it's worth more than a fragrance that's in the same realm as this. And as a fragrance reviewer, I do have to be frank with people that are watching my reviews and tell them the reason for my rating. And I was very fair with Swiss Army. I wasn't going to give it a 9 out of 10 just because of my fond memories with it. Because a fragrance of the same caliber as this shouldn't be getting a 9. So that's, wow. Synthetic as hell. Very much in your face as a fragrance. I still like the DNA of this stuff. And that's one thing in my journey is that I never really fell out of love out of cheap fragrances. And that's one thing that, knock it on wood, is I certainly love where I am in this journey, where I always have been. I've never felt like I am beyond this, or that I feel like these type of fragrances are trash, designers are trash, and I am just a niche head, because I could very well be in this part of the journey. But yeah, this just reminds me of early high school. So anyway, Swiss Army, very much a cheapie. And again, I want to spray all of these. Tommy was next, I think. I remember breaking a bottle of this in my gym bag. I was carrying this in my gym bag, slammed the gym bag on the gym floor like an idiot, and it smashed. Yeah. Very warming. Almost kind of apple pie-ish, and I kind of feel like this started the love for this one, which is Hugo Boss Bottled, which is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. But yeah, it's got that warming quality. Very, very nice, Tommy, even though stuck in the 90s, but still a very good release. And CKB, and again, a 200 mil of this is like 25 bucks. But that's my early journey. This is high school in a nutshell for me. And I value these even to this day. I have them in my collection for a reason, just because of those memories. So that's where I started with cheapies like these. Of course, they weren't cheap at back in the day. I'm sure my mom paid a pretty penny for all three of those fragrances, especially this. This was popular in its heyday, and this obviously too. So that's where my journey started. Moving on to the second round of my journey, I would have to say that this is the second round of it. So you could say that I've moved up a bit with Boss Bottled and Le Male. And some people will be like, you haven't moved up much with these two. But as much as I love these, and I'll be quite honest with all of you out there, these are just sentimental releases to me. I don't wear them as much as I would wear these. As you can see, these have a pretty good dent in them. These one, not so much. I wear them from time to time. They're very much, all three of these are very much versatile to me. But these two, again, very versatile, talking about versatility. That was one thing that I wore a lot of versatile fragrances early in my journey. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out there, but this is very much easy to wear. You dress them up, dress them down, whatever. So my beautiful Le Male fragrance. So that was my designer journey. So it really went from, kind of cheapies to maybe you would call this like a higher end designer release. And then, of course, everything blew up from there. So obviously now I'm into everything, niche, indie, as weird as they can get, as clean as they can get, expensive or as cheap as they can get. And that's one thing that I did want to talk about is where I'm at right now. And this is, people that are new to my channel, I'm hopeful that this kind of gets you to know me a little bit more. That's where my journey started. So now, as you can tell, my taste has evolved, of course, to things like Xerjoff Rich Wood, Amouage Interlude Man. No, I'm never going to review these. I'm just kidding. It is Ganache by Guerlain, like a discontinued fragrance, this is the kind of stuff that I kind of makes the journey so fun to me, is that there's so many lanes that I'm in now. And you see that on my YouTube channel, that I'm sourcing out discontinued designer fragrances that have like a a cult following. Fragrances that came out before my time as a really heavy fragrance head that I really wanted to discover. Things like I'm trying to remember things that I've paid quite a good amount of money for discontinued fragrances in the designer game that I really was interested in. But this is again like something like it is Ganache from Guerlain that I really wanted to get my hands on. Discontinued, or not discontinued, but hard to find now, and really a solid fragrance. But I'm still a designer head at heart. These are two examples of things that I look for in the designer game. So you're going to see me not really talking about Bleu de Chanel, Dylan Blue, things that are very popular as a fashion, stuff like this. I'm looking for stuff like Gucci Guilty Absolute. So I'm still very much feed into the designer game, like Versace Noir. Things like Leather Blend from Davidoff, which is a recent discovery also. But I'm still going back to, classics like Chanel Egoist that I absolutely love. So my palette has evolved, as you can see. But my journey is personal. It's very much personal. So some people will go into fragrances just trying to please other people. The whole compliment factor. If you put compliment in the title of a video, you're going to get more hits as a YouTuber. It's just the way it is. And that's where maybe we all started. Or some of us have started, and it goes deeper. Some just stay in that lane. They find something that works for them and they stay in that lane, and this fragrance journey ends for them. They may just go with something that's like hyped up. This is a very bad example, but something that gets hyped up on YouTube. They pick it up and then it works for them, and that's the end of the journey for them. I feel like my subscriber base is more in depth into this. But this video is more like your journey is your journey. So there's no blueprint of right or wrong of your journey. Where I'm at in my journey, the stigma is that you're into artistic sense, that you're very much closed-minded. It's all niche, indie, whatever. You could say that, and I'm going to use this gentleman as an example. Does not mean that I believe that his journey is wrong or right, but Eugene from You Smells Good, a fragrance reviewer that I absolutely love. He's, very much into Chanel, buys everything Chanel, Mal, a little bit of Hermes sprinkled into it. So he's very much restricted himself in his journey, in his current collection, to just brands, certain brands, very, very upfront with brands. That's all good and fine. I respect the man for his collection. His Guerlain collection is just boom. His Chanel collection is boom also. Obviously, a man that has a refined taste. For me, it's I respect the brands that he likes, because they are, in the fragrance community, they're upper echelon brands. I'll be honest, they have, how can I say it, they're creative, their quality of their scents is as far as their reputation, the quality's up there. And you can see it in a lot of their releases. But at the same time, for me, my journey is very much different than Eugene's. I don't mind picking up a bottle for $5. I still love fragrances to this day, like Le Mans, which, someone in Eugene's spot, and probably in my type of journey where I am right now, looking for a lot of creative, artistic stuff. This would probably be forgotten on the wayside. Very pedestrian, very much a top seller, something that you wouldn't want to try out. And that's what I enjoy about my journey, is that everything is up for grabs for me. I get as excited for a designer release like this recent designer release that I would get with a $700 to $800 niche brand. Excellent release right here, Richwood. Very much artistic, beautiful, simplistic, but you can tell here, this fragrance, of course, made by a huge designer brand that really doesn't have the best reputation, FYI, in the designer game. made by a perfumier, to be quite honest, not someone that I absolutely like his fragrances. Like, he's known for ADG. ADG is okay, but a lot of his releases to me don't speak volumes. This does. It speaks volumes to me. Beautiful, beautiful scent. And I get as much excitement in discovering something like this because they're hard to find in the designer game, even harder to find in the niche realm than something like this. So that is where I'm at. And the point of this video is really all about anybody that's new to my channel. What am I about? That's what I'm about. This is what this journey is about. But for you, the viewer, is that there's no right or wrong. Don't look at a fragrance reviewer and say, this is where I have to go. We're all different. And we're all going to discover, and you're going to buy you're going to purchase a whole bunch of fragrances that you may just get tired of. There's some fragrances that you may absolutely hate, and months later, years later, days later, you may fall in love with them. So one word to the wise, definitely, if you're in this journey just for the fun of it, you enjoy scents, all different types of scents like I do, especially if you're built the same way as I am. Never give up on scents. Never give off the samples that you don't like. You can if you want. For me, I hold on to everything. I even hold on to bottles of fragrances that I absolutely hate, that I don't like, because my taste evolves, and it continues to evolve. So that's one word of advice, to be quite honest. And to be artistic and creative in a fragrance, one thing that I want to take that stigma is price tag. You have to go niche to be creative and to absolutely have something that's really out there. Case in point, Encre Noire from Lalique. Some people may say, I hate that fragrance. It's not as artistic as you think it is. It's very artistic to me. I really enjoy Encre Noire. I'm not going to, really start saying a whole bunch of negative things about Encre Noire by Lalique, because it's a 3.4 ounce bottle for $20. And the bottle itself, the packaging, the name, everything works. The scent itself is absolutely beautiful to me. It may not be your taste, but as far as creative scent, it just goes to show you a $20 fragrance can be creative. It can still blow your mind, even if you're in this journey like I am. Something like this is now at discounters for $50 USD. Now, it's not the most, I wouldn't say it's the most unique fragrance out there. This has been done before, but absolutely gorgeous. Very different from anything designer being released these days. So that's one thing. So now 2020 is upon us. What's in it for me for my journey? What's in it for me for this channel? First and foremost, more coffee. I am Batman. Second of all, the journey. The journey stays the same. For me, it's been very much, if you've been with me since 2009, yeah, I've been doing this for 11 years now. My journey is all about discovering. It's always been, if you go back to my channel in 2009, it's always about discovering. I take my time with my fragrance reviewing, and that's never gonna change. At least I don't think so. After 11 years, I'm not changing. So the journey itself, still looking to discover great designer releases. So you're still going to get videos of me unboxing designers, indies, and niche from every type of price tag. I'll review anything and everything. I'll give you an honest take, but giving that honest take, I will give the fragrance its just due. I'm not going to bash a fragrance just because I can. And I'm not going to take a first impression and call it gospel. A first impression video is exactly what it is to me, is a first impression video, and I'm going to give it its just due. But I'll give you my honest take on that first impression. And if that changes during the whole review, so be it. Usually doesn't change much, honestly. But I've seen things like that before happen on my channel. As far as the channel goes in 2020, I don't know, 2019, it's been a blah year for the Robes08 channel. You know, there was some, what can I say? In 2019, looking back to my channel and all of you that have been supporting me, it's just been a very steady year for me as far as the channel goes. So on the channel in 2020, you know, I'm not here for New Year's resolutions. Never was a big fan of that. I'm always reevaluating myself. That could be on a weekly basis, monthly, you know, quarterly basis. That's the way it works. So looking back, I feel like I can give you guys more. Um, Obviously, it's more about the time, taking the time to shoot more videos and do what I need to do, because I do want to make more content for you guys.